Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Carla, aka Sela the Poet. What's going on? I'm having an insomniac night, and during those times, you know what I do. I either pray, meditate, reflect, or create. And tonight, I decided that I would like to do a video clip. Um, until I get myself some sleep, I'm going to use my time wisely. So, how's everybody doing? I'm hoping that everybody is keeping safe during the pandemic, following the CDC guidelines. Whether you've gotten vaccinated or whether you don't, I respect both decisions. I just hope that everybody is remaining safe with whatever they do. So, tonight, guys, I decided I'm going to share one of my writings. I've never really read this one in public. It just speaks about Goth Life. Um, for those who don't know, who just started watching my channel, I identify as a Christian Goth. A Christian Goth is a person that's a part of the Goth community that, believes in Jesus Christ and that is also a Christian and that basically lives simultaneously and ties the faith to the Goth alternative subculture. And, it's rare. There's not a lot of Christian Goths, but there is a community of Christian Goths. And I'm going to talk about my experience. So I'm going to read the excerpt, and then you guys can give me some feedback, hopefully. Here goes. Give me a minute. Maybe you guys could see me a little better over here. Trying to get more light from where I was at. Okay, here I go, guys. So, I remember the day I decided to become Goth. I probably was always Goth within myself, but actually decided to start living the lifestyle. My beloved grandmother passed away 2 weeks after my abusive mother assaulted her. I remember feeling so defeated, so sad, like I lost the last neutral person in my family that actually loved me. I had tried to help my grandma Carmina before she passed, but I couldn't save her from my mother's abuse, mistreatment, or control. Grief took over, and at first, I wore black to honor her, my grandmother. But I realized that I liked wearing all black and that it suited me well, and it was also an expression of how I felt about the world. As I began to search myself, I realized mourning, grief, and suffering was always in my life. Pain, sadness, depression, loneliness are things that I struggled with. My mother, sisters, and Christian father betrayed me, lied on me, and did not want to stop being abusive toward me or acting in hurtful ways toward me. So, when I would confront them about the behavior, they would deny that they did anything wrong, to the point where I had to cut ties with all of them. I couldn't help but be the scapegoat, rebel, and if that was what I had become, then I better own that shit. I was the rebel, the one rebelling against years, generations of abusive behavior, and smashing against and confronting a dysfunctional family system. But I paid the price with being lied on, having extended family relationships destroyed because of their vicious rumors, going to court to appeal a false order of protection that they put against me as a form of retaliation because I exposed their behavior and I first put in my order of protection against my mother. I lost what I knew was family and found out how poisonous, disgusting, and abusive that so many of them were. So in the face of rejection, non-acceptance, betrayal, my grandmother's death, and loss, I realized that my life is the way of suffering, the way of the cross in a sense. I could no longer pretend to be happy if I really wasn't, and if I felt sad within or troubled, then I needed to express that. So in the Goth community online, I found a community and a commonality with those that were in those groups. The people there were unique, some of them hurting, some of them angry, some of them enraged, some of them suffering, some of them very unique and kind of weird, and some of them struggling with depression and extreme emotions. They weren't afraid to express their pain and embrace it, which is what most human beings deny and try to suppress. Goths are able to find the beauty in the weird, morbid, and dark things of life. To me, the world is a dark place. The racism, the killing, the violence, the crimes, the tragedies, the injustices, the fucked up way people treat each other without love, respect, or care. I could no longer pretend that the world was so bright, and could no longer repress my dissatisfaction with certain aspects of life. I could no longer sweep my traumas under a rug and act like they don't affect me or the way I see life daily, which they very much do. I feel like mourning is a way of life for me, like my heart is bleeding and never really stopped. I'm at times haunted by memories of things that were done and said to me. Every want, desire, and dream that I've ever had fell apart and shattered. So the sadness and the angst and the sorrow I feel, I express it in its rawest form, creatively through poetry, music, fashion, and the Goth life fits me. I could understand Sisters of Mercy lyrics, and I love the song by Susie and the Banshees called The Passenger. The edge, raw vulnerability, and countercultural way that I live life, I've embraced it. Goth life is the way for me. Mourning, loss, trauma, the death of hopes and dreams, non-acceptance, rejection, abusive past, all of these things propelled me to a Goth life. Living like a monk in the shadows, mainly keeping to myself behind the wall, and metaphorically carrying the candle of my faith in God. Goth is something that was probably always in me, something I probably always was, but I just didn't know it. The circumstances of my life brought me to Goth. I am a shadow dweller, holding the lighted candle for God. So that was kind of my introduction of kind of one way of how I got here to, kind of living this lifestyle and kind of just discovering that it's a part of me. I hope you guys, were able to relate to it. You can give me whatever feedback you'd like. Just let me know what you guys think. And I guess I'll talk to you guys later. There'll be more content coming up soon. Peace.